Alrighty, traders, let's have a look at the indices right now. Sp500, Nasdaq, Dow. Also, the energy sector is really picking up, over 5% today on the energy sector. Why I believe it's coming. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty guys, let's talk about it's coming. And what I mean by it's coming is I truly honestly believe when it comes to stocky market, you know, Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, and all these other indices. I honestly believe, guys, that there's so much pumped up demand in these markets from everything, from every angle you can look at, from 0% interest rates, people coming in, flying around, pushing hard to try to get some sort of return, right? Especially those big guys, right? Especially those guys out there that have got a fair bit of money behind them. And so you got those people. So then you also have the stimuli, right? The stimulus. And it's like little rats, right? Just going straight into the system. And there's so much money into the system right now. And then on top of that, there will come a time when the election is being finalized. Man, can't wait for that. And then we can get on with our lives. The vaccine starts to be released. They start to open things back up. And we can start to go back and start to do things normally, right? You know, because yes, we've got the vaccine, let's go. And so why I say it's coming is what I believe an economic shock and boom is around the corner. And it may not happen the first quarter of this year, guys, but probably towards the second, third, and fourth quarter next year, oh my goodness, we are going to see a melt up, an economic boom like we've never seen before. And there's so much pumped up demand into the system right now that I just absolutely honestly see that we are likely to see an absolute massive shock coming to this system. What I mean by a shock is like an absolute just boom, economic boom. Because think about it this way, guys. Think about it. 0% interest rates, bullish for assets prices. Printing of money, bullish for asset prices. People getting checks and being locked away, not so bullish for asset prices. But what happens when they get let out? It's like the kid, right? It's the kids that's been locked away for a few days. A few hours. It's my kids anyway. They're like, few hours, Dad, let me out. You know, and then guess what happens? Bam, right? They're out the door, they're racing around. It's like a kid in a candy store, right? It's like, hey, they haven't had a lolly for a day. My kids. You know, or for a week. So they're in the store, guess what? They're running up and down. What lollies can I get? What lollies can I get? That's what's going to happen next year. We've got so much pumped up demand right now in these markets that we always keep looking at, oh, John, but the stock market's so overvalued. It's so overvalued. It's so overvalued. Look at the valuations. Look at the Buffett indicator. You know what, guys? I totally agree. That yes, we are overvalued. Yes, right now it is tech bubble days where the massive move of the tech bubble is the whole tech bubble in 2000s. We're at those levels. And you know what? We're probably going to push past those levels a lot more than what we think is going to happen. I'm looking at the Dow Jones right now. It looks like it's trying to break out and try to make a run for that 31,000 level. I look at the Sp500 and it just slowly keeps grinding up to the 3,850 mark. One thing that's always interested me, look at the volume here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days of volume. Massive volume spikes. Who is that? Is that you? Is that you guys? Maybe not, right? Is it the Fed? Maybe. But isn't it interesting, right? These last 4 days I've had massive volume spikes amongst these markets here, and we can start to really see what's going on there, right? And we can see massive moves we can start to see that again, this just looks like we're about to race to 3,850. And the Nasdaq, guess what? Just slowly grinding up. Once again, look at the volume here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days worth of volume, massive volume spikes in the markets. And now the market is, guess what? Just continuing up. I have a target of 13,400. Now, guys, I don't know, when it comes to these indices, I don't know if we're just going to go straight up from there or whether we get a dip first and then a move up. I don't know. It's like very, very hard to say. You know what I mean? It's very hard to say what's likely to happen here. But, do we, are we likely to see the Santa Claus rally first before a bit of a dip? I prefer, for me personally, I'd prefer to see a bit of a dip, but maybe it's Santa Claus coming to town early and Santa and his little reindeers and little helpers, they're getting ready to go, right? Big. And they're just getting ready to go. So it looks like it's just slowly. And this is what the market does. If you go back in time, like even on the Nasdaq, look at this here. It just slowly grinds up until we actually get a bit of a strong pullback. And even with a strong pullback, guys, as I said before, even with a bit of a strong pullback, I don't believe we're likely to continue. I don't believe we're likely to like completely have a top here. No, any big major pullback would be an amazing, awesome buying opportunity for this guy here. Looking at the QQQ, which I will be, and the main one for me is the SPY when looking at the market. So I would really, really like it to see a bit of a nice, give me a nice little 5, maybe even a 10% pullback out of this market, and then start to pick back up again and start to make a nice move. If I can see that out of the markets, oh my goodness, guys, get ready. It's on like Donkey Kong, and here come the bulls. Right now, I'm not too quite sure. So I want to be in the SPY, but I'm for a trading purpose anyway. Investing purposes, guys, I just think the next couple of years are likely to be massively bullish in the markets. Now, on the caveat of that is that depending if Biden is in and then he starts to put up these taxes, depending on when those taxes become effect is what's likely to be affecting in the market. So we may not, if Biden gets in, he may not get the tax increases approved by 2022. So I just see enormous moves to the upside first, and then a big crash, right? A big crash after that. And so we can see this here right now on the Sp500. But look at this here. Look at the XLE, which is the energy sector ETF here on the XLE. And we are starting to make some really, really nice moves on the XLE. We've made an almost 50% increase on the XLE ever since this bottom here in November. Just really, really, really nice sort of pattern through that actually happened through here. You can see it had a low, came down, found a low, and then a very nice move to the upside. We do have a little bit of a resistance. Actually, there's actually a bit of a trend line coming up the top here. And that trend line is on that weekly chart. So I've got this big, massive, long-term weekly upward trend, a weekly downward trend. And then you have sort of this point through, you had this point through here, as you can see. Right, so you had that point through there. And then the market sort of come back down. So, I believe this higher low we're getting right now is probably likely to stay. And we're probably likely to continue rallying back up to at least this $45 level. So it looks like we've got a lot of movement coming in the energy source sector. It looks like it's starting to come back in big time. Look at the volume on it today as well too. So there we go, guys. That's what I see when it comes to the markets and why I believe it's coming. And one of the greatest economic booms I see coming over the next 12 months. And even like what we're seeing right now, guys, it's just so much pent up demand. So much pent up demand that all I say is please don't have a biased view with these markets. Please don't be thinking, oh my goodness, stocks are so overvalued. The big guys are short in the market. Guys, just follow what the market's doing. Don't fight the market. Have you guys seen Rogue Trader when he's fighting the market? Don't fight the market, man. Don't fight it. Just go with it. Go with it. Doesn't matter what you think or what you hope or what you fear. Just go with it. And so I hope this helps you out today, guys. why I believe one of the greatest economic booms is just around the corner next year. And with all that, I see one of the biggest, greatest melt-ups, and why I believe it's coming. Traders, I've been getting a lot of questions asking me about, John, how do I trade the markets? What sort of system do I use? What's my approach, and so on and so forth. So I'm running a free masterclass teaching you my #1 trading system for the last 15 years. This is the most powerful and highest probability system on the planet. And I'm going to just share with you all the details. Plus, I'm going to share with you how I find and scan and do all my trading in 1 hour or less per day. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, you can register for this free training that I'm going to run. So go to that right now. I'm going to teach you all the details, and I promise you, once you leave this free training, not only will we know exactly what goes into a good trader, so you could be a good trader, but also you're going to learn my #1 trading system, all the details, so you can start to crush it. So go to johnsfreetraining.com, and I look forward to seeing you on the masterclass. Go to johnsfreetraining.com right now.